Hello, Setting Trick listeners. We are back. This is John McAllister, your host, and I took a couple months to really decide if I wanted to keep on recording these shows. And at the Austin NABC, I heard from you listeners that a lot of you really love the show. And so we're back. We're committed to another season of Setting Trick. Today we have bridge streamer Milan Macura. He won the first ever World Youth Congress teams. He was the longtime president of the Czech Bridge Federation in spite of being really a young man. And I'm excited to have him today. Today we have Milan Macura. He is one of the more prolific and popular bridge streamers. He's from Prague in the Czech Republic. And today he's my guest, Milan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, John, for inviting me to your podcast. I'm honored.
So, Milan, we met at the 50th Tel Aviv International Bridge Festival. I was there playing with my friend Jacko, Yaniv Zak, and you were there. I'm not sure who you were playing with.
Well, that's a really good question, if I remember. I have played in Tel Aviv several times, and this time I remember we were like with our open team there at the time with Vít Volhein and Aleš and Jirka Medlin. I think that was the time when we were playing kind of for the top, and I was participating also with my wife one time and with the juniors as well. So, to be honest, not sure which one it was.
I think you were there with your wife.
Okay, well then we just took it as a leisure activity, visiting friends and having a little bit of fun in Tel Aviv.
What's your favorite tournament?
Well, it's changing during the time. I really enjoyed the Gold Coast. I enjoyed the Eilat Bridge Festival, but in a competitive point of view, and also from the area and stuff, I just loved the Maritz West tournaments in Norway when it was played in the Oslo Opera House. It was really amazing, and I really liked the format of the competition because it was Swiss pairs, and this is not something what you are playing regularly.
The tournament in Norway, did that end because of COVID or did that end because of other circumstances?
No, actually, it's still on. This time it's in May, but I think due to financial things, they had to move from the Opera House, which obviously might be not the cheapest place on earth to play. But then they were moving it before COVID. It was next to the European Youth Team Championships. And right now, to be honest, I don't know what will be the venue, but it's end of May. And there are great cash prizes and top players from all over the world participating. So definitely a good way to have some fun, maybe earn some money and meet friends.
So in the United States, as you know, you've played a couple nationals. We don't really have cash prizes. What's the biggest cash prize you've ever played for or ever won?
Yeah, well, in Czech Republic the cash prizes are very like low. So let's just say that you can win like 10 times the entry fee. But the biggest ones what I played was the Winter Games in Monaco, because that's sponsored by Pierre Zimmermann. To be honest, I don't remember what was the first prize, but something like 30,000 euros or something like that. And this one is similar, but that was teams. Now in Oslo that was pairs, and I think the prize was around 30,000 euros, which is already quite a good pile of cash. Unfortunately, I never played Cavendish yet. That's probably the the best tournaments to have a chance to win some money, also to play against the best in the world. So hopefully that's one of my dreams I want to play in. So
30,000 for pairs, 30,000 euros for pairs. That's pretty good.
That's like huge. Yeah. Well, I know that when we were playing in Monaco, we just lost in the quarterfinals. So round of 16, and we lost by 1 imp. And I think just the difference in money was something like 1,250 euros. But that was team. So that's just 1 imp. And I think it changes a little bit the psychology if you are playing for money. It's just an extra thing you have in mind during the play, that this is not just costing you an advance or a medal, but sometimes it can cost a fortune if you are playing Cavendish or these kind of things. Different pressure.
You've made a name for yourself as a streamer. How did that come to be?
Yeah, that actually came before COVID, and plenty of streamers now are due to COVID because they were playing professionally. But actually, I was thinking, how to spread the knowledge and what to use to teach the juniors, because I'm very much involved with teaching juniors, and I'm playing other games, like Hearthstone or now Clash Royale. And I was watching videos, I was watching the pros, how they play live, how they describe the strategies, and I thought, wow, this is just great. I'm improving myself just watching for 10 minutes how they play and how they introduce the game. So why not to do something similar in Bridge? So I started, then we had some ideas with Christoph Grossad, then we tried to do it for Front Bridge or in cooperation, because it's like not that easy to stream if you are playing with players, because then you need to get a lot of people together, the alignments and stuff are tough. So actually playing with the computers, that's an idea of an esport, let's say, way of playing Bridge, and how to share the strategies with people from all over the world.
So when did you start exactly then?
Yeah, it was 2018, 19. Yeah, I'm doing it already for a couple of years. So I think it's 3 years already.
Is that doing the streaming your only source of income?
No, not really. But at this moment, it's one of the biggest because I do a lot of things, but everything is connected to Bridge. But live streaming is the way to earn some money, both if you get sponsored or from donations from people. The other option actually was to do the Bridge lessons, which I see that in the US. People pay $20-50 for an hour, 2 hour lesson, and then you have 20-30 people. But this is not my way. I prefer, if I do lessons, to be like one-on-one or have maximum like 4 students at the table. But this one is for the masses, and it's free for the players, for the viewers. It's free, and that was something what I wanted to deliver to the students. Well, when I look at my viewers, it's mostly retired people. So I'm really surprised, but we just have a great community of people, and I'm having a lot of fun just sitting in front of the computer and chat with the people.
And you're doing it in English.
Yeah, I do it in English. So everything at this moment, what I do is basically in English, because in Czech Republic, the source of income in Bridge, we just have 500 members, and it was more everything like on volunteering. Nowadays, the things are changing. Maybe we get to that point, but it wouldn't be a good source of income in Czech.
So what's an example of like some of the most gratifying things that you've experienced in your streaming career? Like, for example, I just was at the Austin NABC, and I was in doubt whether or not I was going to continue making these podcast episodes. And a couple people came up and said, "I really enjoy your podcast." And that was like really nice to hear. As a streamer, like what keeps you going? What besides the money?
Yeah, for me, I'm not doing things, for money. I mean, to get rich. It's good to have a decent life. But actually, what you are saying, this is what drives me. To hear from the people that they just like the content, that they improved their game, and that they are having fun. And I'm receiving from the beginning messages from my spectators that they are really improving and that's helping, and that's like the best feeling for me. I have met some of the players live at the festivals, and this is just nice to talk to people which you never met live, but now you have something in common. They come to you and they say, "Oh, Milan, I'm a favorite of your streams. I just love it. I improved my game." And suddenly this is what you are saying. It's just so nice to hear, which just keep me going.
Now, recently you and I played a challenge on your stream, and did you lose some credibility with your viewers when you lost to me in the challenge?
Bridge is a game of mistakes, and it's a game of fun. So at the end, the score doesn't matter that much. But it was a nice one, and you deserved it. And on my streams, I every time like play free challenges against my viewers. Yeah, I'm winning most of them, but sometimes I have a bad evening and I lose 2 out of 3, or sometimes, well, to be honest, I think it happened once that I lost all 3. But then I also get like good feedback, because people think, okay, Milan is still a human, we can beat him. So next time we will try and we will do better. So it's good to lose some.
We played on BBO. We played our challenge on BBO, but I think you play most of your challenges on FunBridge typically.
Yeah, well, with computers it's tough because you have to adjust to the computer, and on BBO I just don't have the experience. That was actually the first challenge I played, so I don't know how they signal lead or how they bid. But I think that it was more technical what happened in our challenge.
Do you think the robots on FunBridge are better than the ones on BBO?
That's what I'm hearing. This is what I cannot say from my experience, because I have like thousands of boards played on FunBridge, but basically none against the robots on BBO. But from people, I'm hearing that FunBridge robots are better, smarter. It might also differ if you pay. I guess if you pay on BBO, then you might get smarter robots. I don't know how that works actually.
How accurate do you think the play of the robots is on FunBridge?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I would say sometimes people complain that she just do the stupid mistakes. But in general, if she doesn't do few mistakes, which are based on like aggressive bidding or not being able to evaluate the goulash hands or the strange hands very well, it's pretty precise and it's tough to beat if you are not on, I would say, an expert level. It's very tough to compete if you don't get an idea how to defend, so difficult. Yeah, I think it's pretty good level. It can be, of course, better. Everything can be better, but I'm happy like what we have.
You let's go back. You had a deal to play some of the nationals a while back with Jay Whipple, and I first heard about you. I didn't know that it was you, but Eric Kokish told me there was this young Czech pair, and I never reached out to you, but I was looking to hire some teammates for nationals, and it never happened. So you guys were hot. You won the first World Youth Congress gold medal. Tell me about your professional playing career.
That's really a story, because it was at the end of my junior career, and in our country we didn't have like the team or the money to go to Istanbul. It was just ridiculously expensive. We had to pay everything on our own, but well, my good friend and captain from the Netherlands, Ina Gilkens, then she said, "This is my last tournament. I have to go. And she said, I'm on BBO. There are 3 Japanese players who are looking for a teammate. So you must go. And well, then I said yes. And then I just thought about that, and I thought, well, if we are supposed to do a good score, better to play with my partner. So then I pushed Michal Kopecki to go with me. We found some funding, so a couple of people helped us. We went there. At the end, from 3 Japanese, it was just 1 pair, so one couldn't go. We just met before the tournament, never see each other even there. We basically barely speak because they didn't speak English very well. And I think we lost the first match of the Swiss. And then it just kept going. We just sit, play, compare. We didn't even see what they played. We just compared. We won. Okay, let's go. We split. Played another match, and then this goes, and then we were playing in the semifinals. We were the only international team, so this was why this is interesting, because this was the first possibility to play in juniors in international teams. Yeah, and we were the only international team who advanced to the top 8. We played Poland in quarterfinals, but then it was the younger Polish team. They were a little bit scared of us. So after first half, the match was over. But then we played against the Dutch team. The best team in the world with the US team, which was there, and we were down by 32, I think, after the first 16 boards, and we had another 16 to play. Danny Molinar with Tim Verbeek and Bob Driver with Marion Michelsen, so like the top European champions and stuff. But at the end, we see that we were cutting like imp by imp, and then there was the last board defending 2 hearts. I opened a strong no trump and was on the lead. And actually, if I gave away 2 over tricks, we will lose by 1. If it will be just +1, we will tie the match.
Wow.
And if we beat it, if it will be just made, we'll win by an imp. That's how close it was. And, that was my best feeling in my life, that I was sitting there, the adrenaline pumping. Of course, you don't know the results. But after that, you came, and the only lead was leading the doubleton king from the strong hand, from the 15, so you can get a rough. And I did it, so it just went just made, and when we went out, everybody was cheering because, we were the complete underdogs, so that was the best feeling, much better than winning the finals, which we played against Italy because the US team was not behaving the day before, so...
Behaving?
Yeah, so then we...
Wait, behaving, you mean?
Well...
They just didn't play well, or...?
Yeah, having a little bit more fun. They thought that they are the best, and at the end, something happened. So, yeah, and after that, the story continued because we were invited to play in Japan in their Yokohama festival. They paid the whole trip for us, so a completely different experience. What we got in the Czech Republic, like the first medal of the world championships and stuff, and then we met other people, and then the next summer I got a message from Brian Senior, who played with Sandra Penfold, and actually Danny Molinar and Team Verbeek were supposed to be on their team, but because they were not paid that well, we just went there, we took an opportunity, and then we met Jay Whipple there in New Orleans and played with him several nationals afterwards. So, a lot of coincidence, but good behavior, luck. That was just the start of the professional bridge career.
You had not really been hired prior to winning this World Youth Congress.
Well, we were not knowing even about the chance because, in our country there was no one before us who even partly played professionally. So it's not like you have it in Sweden, Norway, Poland, Netherlands, France, that you have the pros who are helping the young players. So we didn't have these type of connections, and we have to earn it. So that's way better, I think, for yourself. but very tough for the kids from the small federations.
I was on Instagram yesterday, and I'm a golfer. Tiger Woods is like the legend of golf, and there were all these pros telling their first Tiger story, like the first time that one guy was on the putting green, another guy played with him or whatever, and so I'm wondering, did you have that like when you played in your first nationals, like Mexstroth? Or was it this team of Dutch with Bob Driver and Marion? Those Bob and Marion are both world champions, and Tim and Danny are European champions. But they weren't at that time. Like, do you have it? Is there somebody like Bob Hammond, for example, where it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm playing against this person?
Yeah, well, with me, I'm a little bit embarrassed for that, but I'm a bit uneducated in this because I'm not like a good reader, and the streams were not there, so I actually had no idea who I'm playing against. So one match, we were just sitting there and playing, against some grandpas. So I thought, okay, we just crushed them, and we had a great table, and then when we came back, we compared, and we lost the matches. What the hell? And then it was the team with Garotso and stuff. With those stars, so I thought, oh, okay, so maybe I should learn a little bit but at the bridge table, it's we all have the same cards, so I don't care against who I'm playing. The only thing nowadays, with more experience, is that you might adjust the style a little bit, but I don't have like the stress or pressure that I'm playing against world champions or against club players. Pretty much I don't care much in bridge.
Are the bridge clubs in the Czech Republic back open? Like, are you playing in a bridge club at all?
Yeah, now it is for a couple of months. We just had, I think, half a year when they were closed. Very tough period, but even now, like not everybody returns due to different reasons. So it's being really tough for the clubs.
I'm surprised that the Czech Federation only has 500 members. That seems like per capita very small versus, I mean, the Netherlands, obviously.
We're digging deep for those 500. So yeah, it's not easy, If there's not a history, because during the communism or all like the good players emigrated to the country, and then they didn't came back, so then it's struggled, after that. And when you get to a decent to some number which is critical, then it's hard to grow again, because you need really people who invest the time. And what I'm saying, was that everybody here still kind of is volunteer, and it's hard to push forwards like that much to get double. It was my goal, still is, but it's a lot of work.
To double the number.
Yeah, well, I mean, to get 500 new players, it's like not that hard. Of course, if you have 100,000 members, if every, I don't know, 1,000 member just brings a friend, you get the number. But if you have 500, and some of them, I would guess that we have around 200 players who are participating at the national events. The others are just club players. So very hard. Some people die, some people lose interest. So we just are steady now in the numbers that who we bring we lose due to different reasons.
What's your most popular video? Like the most views?
To be honest, I don't know. It will be probably some from the past, but in general, I did like 3 types of videos. Streaming is I guess now the most popular, or commenting the boards which people could play, so the same boards, and that was my goal. It was not on FunBridge. I pushed it really hard because people like to compare on the same boards. Yeah, and that's the big difference, because when I'm playing random boards, for example, I'm playing challenges against the winners of our Czech Federation tournament there, and people were not playing, so they cannot compare. They can see, but it's not that fun as you can play. So I would say in general, it's those what spectators can play and then can compare with me and hear the analysis.
Whatever happened to the Japanese guys? Are they like on the Japanese Open team when they play?
One of them, Hiroaki Miura, you might heard about him because he was like the captain of the Open team, but he was playing professionally with the Japanese clients in the US very often, or all the world. We have met several times after that. But with the other guy, Noriaki Koike, I think he stopped playing. He was not even in bridge before like that much. So, but unfortunately we were not like in the close contact due to the culture and language barriers.
You used to work at McKinsey?
Yeah, well, that was during my studies and a little bit after that. So great experience meeting great people, and I learned so much there. So I was studying, working for McKinsey, and at that time I became the president of Czech Bridge Federation. So I tried to combine all these things, and then, well, it was on the edge when I actually quit playing for the juniors, or quit playing pro, because my partner decided to quit for some time.
This is Michael.
Yeah, now he's back. He's interested. Now he's playing in the Open team for the Czech Republic. But for a couple of years, we spent a month in the US, being at the clubs, talking to the people, and he found out that that's not the life for him. So he wanted to settle down, get the family together, get the steady job. Now he has it, so he's returning, but playing for fun at this moment. So.
And your wife plays bridge?
Yeah, well, I think for every player who just spends so much time with bridge, you just must, or usually you find your wife at bridge. So my wife was my first client, actually, because she's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing professionally. So thanks to her, I'm doing what I love.
So you were a full service pro, and that's what we call them.
Well, no. Now you might say, but actually, once again, it started. I was the president, and she came after, I don't know, 10 years break, because we met before like juniors, and then she approached me if I know about someone who can teach her and her partner a little bit extra, because they want to improve. I said, well, I don't know about anyone, but if you want, I will teach you after job, in the evening. And they said, okay, but we will pay you. I say, well, not necessary. So let's take it that we just gather, take a dinner. You pay for the dinner, and during that I will teach you bridge. So this is how my professional teaching career started.
And is she a good student?
She's a very good student, I would say. She's a professional in what she's doing, so she has taught me also a lot. So I'm really grateful for that we met, and at the end that we started dating, because it came afterwards.
And now you have a child. I think it's a little girl.
Yeah, we have 2.5-year girl, Amanda. She's just amazing. So I'm just waiting, shaking when she becomes my small project of how young kids can start playing bridge.
What are you playing any card games with her yet?
Right now, she just knows like what is a spade, heart. She can pull out a king.
Wow.
And stuff. So that's like the beginning. I know that I have to start slow. I'm known to be a little bit, willing as everybody, but I need to get my patience. 2.5 years. I give it one more year, and I think we will play some more interesting games.
Now you learned bridge because of your grandfather. I think that's how you got introduced to bridge.
Yeah, that's right.
Was he a member of the Czech Bridge Federation?
Yeah. He was an enthusiastic card player. I don't know if you heard about mariage or taroki. It's like the Central European, like German game, but also here. And he played bridge. I think that he learned at the university. He played in the national events, but like not that much. He was a natural. I would say he was a card player. He lived the cards, but he was not studying. So my first bridge lesson at the age of 10 was that we were going to his bridge lesson that one married couple wanted to learn. So he needed the fourth one. So he took me, and on the 15 minutes walk from our home to that place, he just explained me the bidding.
Wow.
I was 10 years. I mean, I had no
Wow.
idea what he's talking about. And then once again, the first 3/4 of an hour, it was just explanation of what is an opening, how to respond and stuff. So I went crying after like half an hour. But then we took the cards, in our hands, and then it got better. And every week, like the same story. And yeah, it just grew to my heart later on.
So you were going, he was teaching a couple or a pair, and you were the fourth, and that was weekly.
I was the fourth one, weekly lesson, and after couple, he just took me to a competition. So then I tried to study it a little bit, but in that time there were no internet, so just few books. So my first books was Killing Defense and Expert Killing Defense, and that's probably the only books I read from the beginning till the end. And then I just played. And learned by playing.
Did you like Killing Defense?
I don't know if what I remember, but well, at that time, if I read it, because it was not like a book, it was retyped on a typewriter. So it's just not like a fancy book. It was a piece of paper with some signs on it. But at the end, it was so interesting, and maybe even that's why I got hooked, to bridge. That it was really challenging. I love challenges, so I went through, and that was it.
Your grandfather's he's no longer alive. Is that right?
No, unfortunately, he died when I played my first Youth European Championship.
So was he excited to get into to the level that you were playing in the European Championships?
When I was 17, it was still just the beginning, So at that time, there was not such a youth program or something. There were just a couple of juniors going. Nowadays, or after that, it was a different story. But definitely, it was really proud.
Did you play in the European Championships that were held online this year for Czech?
No. I'm not playing online with human partners. I just don't like it. I'm practicing online. I think that's what it is good for. If you want to play for fun, that's good for. But to play competitively online, I just really don't like it. So I'm not doing it.
The Czech Republic fielded a team in the.
No. We didn't fail because others have it like similar, and we have like a youth week, or now it's also for like the adults at the same time. This has like a 20-year history, so we just preferred to go and play with the young kids, have a week vacation with our families. That got a preference instead.
What's the best that the Czech Republic has ever done in the European Championships?
Yeah, well, that might be something like 20th place. I can tell you right now. Just have to check, but well, we never did great, because for that you need a full team, and usually in small federations you have like a good pair, maybe the second pair, but never like three good pairs. Now it's changing. Let's see. There was 13th place, so only once when we got there, and once 18th place in Salsa Maggiore. But in Pau, France, 13th place. But now like 4 or 3 of those players are not playing competitively anymore. And it was 2008. So see that it's just hard to combine the ages when they are doing the best.
How were you able to get to the level that you're winning a World Youth Championship with the bridge in your country being so
Traveling among the championships, that was my last junior championship, but my first was in the age of 17. So 8 years of going and playing everywhere. We were invited to various places, so we played in Poland, Germany, Netherlands, Hungary and stuff, Austria. So basically, by playing, experiencing ourselves, I must say that I'm kind of a self teaching person. So I just think what's happening, and then we had Ina Gilkens, who was playing for the Dutch women team, and she helped us with some tips. But then she helped us a lot, like in partnership, in handling the person sitting in front of us, and she was actually the reason that we were able to continue playing with Michal. So that was not easy, and I think that's where a lot of partnerships are like failing or splitting, because they don't understand each other on a personal level, and then they of course cannot understand each other at bridge.
Can you remember something that she maybe taught you in those times about partnership?
The thing is that it might have been personal at that time, like who we are, how to talk, or how the others think. So that was, but think like in the life. But otherwise, it was just having agreements, because we were just playing and feeling, but we didn't have those agreements, which you have to build on. And she just gave us some, For example, I remember from the semifinals, because I really have a bad memory for this, that we were defending Marian's four hearts doubled, which is Stanley down free. But Michal cashed an ace. There was free small in the dummy. I discarded the king, and now he switched to another suit. So she cashed my singleton king in the other suit, and at the end managed to make a doubles contract, And I was so mad about this that we just don't have an agreement what a king means to discard to an ace, and this is really an elementary thing, that king means, okay, I have the rest, keep going. Very, very tough if you don't have a teacher or someone who can help you to go with these basics. But at the end, through years, you pile them up. Now I have plenty of agreements and teaching them others.
How many times a week do you broadcast your bridge streaming, I guess?
Yeah, I have two live streams. So on Tuesday I do the streams on Funbridge YouTube, and on Thursdays evening I do on my own YouTube channel, and then I post videos once, twice a week, depends. Nowadays I have other projects, so I'm not like that active because I'm preparing something like wow. So let's see what's if I manage to finish it.
Does Funbridge have something like BBO has something called Bridge Master, where there's different levels of problems and you have to play them? Does Funbridge have something similar to that?
No, unfortunately they don't have these things. That's other thing. I grew up on Bridge Master, so that was definitely a good thing for us or for the kids, how to improve. So that was one of the features actually which put me on a higher level, definitely.
How many kids are playing bridge in the Czech Republic right now that you know of?
Yeah, now we have, I think altogether when we are talking juniors under 26, I think around 80, but then most of them are under 18. So now we have the most like in schools. We're teaching only in 2 schools. I run several projects, but at the end it's all about like the teacher who just goes there every single week, the whole year, taking the kids, motivate them. It's a really tough job. So that's why we are not like spread, but I have the project ready to spread, in 100 schools at the same time. But for that, you need people who will manage that. So this is where we are focusing now on.
Are you familiar with this program BridgeWiz we have in the United States, where they're teaching bridge virtually?
with Bridge Whiz. I heard about couple, but I mean what we have an issue is that we're lacking the real people, the human who will just go to the class and be physically there. So for that, any platform will not like help significantly.
Because the thing about BridgeWiz that's cool is that the model here in the States used to be that you would send a teacher to a school, and then they would have to get the kids there. But teaching it virtually scales so much better. Like they're doing it on Shark Bridge, and they're doing it via Zoom. I mean, I don't know if they're really producing bridge players, but they're doing a lot. They're showing them some of the basics of the game.
Yeah, that's definitely a good question. I would love to get the numbers. What is their drop rate and how many of them they can attract to a bridge club or to a competition, because this is, I think, where everywhere in the world they're struggling. It's not difficult to attract kids. It's not difficult to teach them. What is difficult is to keep them, so they get to the level that they can really play on national. So they keep playing. That's the trick, and that's where you need the kids to meet live. Create social connections. Only then, if they create friends, among each other, only then they can survive longer term than just teach them 2 years. And at this moment, I don't have the time for just doing this investment with no clear outcome of how many we can get, because we know the numbers, what we can get when we are doing it like this way here. It's working. It's just not that you can get 100 at the same time from one school.
I'm impressed that you have 80 kids, actually, honestly. If there's only 500 in the whole federation, that you have 80 juniors learning. Are they part of the federation numbers?
We might be one of the youngest federation, I believe, in the world, because, unfortunately, especially nowadays, that like more and more young players are coming, to bridge, and the elderly are dropping. So it's changing. The full picture of bridge here is changing completely, and we're going through a transition. And if we now survive the next, I would say 5 years, probably max 10, then we might have a good future, because that's why we are steady, but we are way younger every year.
Did you go to university in Czech Republic?
Yeah, I finished my bachelor's in informatics and then my master's in statistics.
How old were you when you started learning English?
Well, that was primary school, I think 3rd grade. But otherwise, I don't think that I learned that much like in school.
Really?
Once again, same with bridge. It's like traveling, talking to people, and I like to talk to people. So when we were somewhere, I just went with the foreigners, to sit and play games, and that's what improves all your skills, and you have a lot of fun with that. So, well, with this, I have like a nice story, if I may, from the first World Pairs Championships. It was 2002, I think, in Poland, Stargard Szczeciński, and then there was the Bridge Week. The camp after that, and there was no one from the Czech Republic participating, because again it was expensive. But then Panos Gerontopoulos just asked our captain that why we are not coming, and they said, well, this is just too expensive for us, and he said, okay, I will cover the cost for one player. So they asked, I was 18 at that time, and nobody wanted, so I wanted, and I just text home, Mom, I will come 1 week later. I have 2 pairs of socks, 1 t-shirt, because we were supposed to go there for 3 days. Now it was 10, and that was amazing, because I was the only Czech there. Wow. So I had to socialize, and that was, I think, the best what could happen to me in my life, that I got this opportunity.
Wow, that's amazing. How much English did you speak at that point?
reasonable. Yeah, I think.
So it's not like you were the total fish out of water, like you couldn't communicate.
No, 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 no. Well, at the age of 18, it was well, we already had some on the high school, but I mean, I went to a really bad high school. I downgraded from my primary and secondary education. Then I went like primary, secondary, then I dropped like this to probably the bottom because I just picked it. I was stupid. But I went there, and then I just went to the one of the most difficult universities in our country. So it was fun in my youth. It's fun now, so I'm trying to enjoy my life.
What's the next live tournament you're playing?
Yeah, right now with Simon Barb, we are going to play in Reykjavik, Iceland, at the end of January. So besides like the tournament in Czech Republic, this is the next one.
He's sponsoring the team.
Yeah, he's my sponsor partner, but good level. So I really enjoyed to play with him. So we'll see. We just played in Hungary, 2 months, 1 month ago. It was really fun. So I'm really looking forward.
Have you been to Iceland for the tournament?
No, no, this is the first time, so maybe it will tops the Norwegian one.
I think they play in the Opera House there too, actually.
It is some kind of a hall, like, but it's at the sea or river,
Yeah.
whatever. I just didn't do my research. I never thought that I would just come there to play bridge. It's just ridiculously expensive, for us. It will be an exciting thing.
A lot of Americans are going to that tournament.
Good. If you are listening, just stop by and say hi. It will be lovely to meet you.
And I played in Austin. I played the Swiss with Sveni Eriksson. He's taller than me. He's a tall guy. He's got a great sense of humor. I will tell him to look out for you. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Well, I have met a couple of Icelanders, and even like the Norwegians. I think in general, like the Norwegians or Scandinavians, if I can put there, also Faroe Islands and Iceland, they're all like super nice people, So that's the more I'm looking forward how actually the situation will be there, how will people behave, at the table, because that's completely different if you are staying here in our region. If you go to okay, I don't want to insult anybody. If you go to Austria or like Poland, it's different. It's different than when I played like in Norway or Sweden is still that I'm waiting for. Hopefully this summer. This last summer they cancelled their biggest event, so it's put online. So all on my list.
So a good friend of mine's here in Charlottesville, not a bridge player. His wife is a Slovak. What can you tell me about the Slovak people?
From the Slavic people, the more you go east, the more friendly usually they are. And Slovak women, they're beautiful, smart, tough. So I understand his choice, and I think it must have been really a good one. So. Yeah, I come more from east, and now I married a Prager, so I'm from a small city, but every family in that region has at least one Prager. Well, I'm the black sheep in our family.
So you moved to Prague to be with your
for studies, and then for bridge, basically. So
what's the name of the university that you went to?
It's Czech Technical University. And then University of Economics.
Do you know of any do you know the names of any American universities?
Well, I'm watching movies, so then even like the colleges and stuff. But with my memories and stuff, I can remember like many. So, but if I hear, then I will know plenty. But basically from movies, so I was not the one I knew from the beginning that I want to do bridge, so I didn't pay like that much attention to my, let's say, like university career or like the profile for the CV. Even working for Mackenzie was a coincidence. So everything in my life is just, that I go and it flows. Take the opportunity which comes at the stage, and that's how I'm living.
So if people want to watch you on the stream, they can watch you on Tuesday at what time?
Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central European time, so Prague time. I guess from Eastern Coast it's 6 hours difference. So I think 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I usually stream for 7:30. 7:30 p.m. I start, and usually I'm online up to 10 p.m. 2.5 hours.
And what are you doing during that stream?
I have 10 boards which people can play starting from Monday evening, so they have 24 hours to play a tournament of 10 boards. On Mondays we're playing match points, on Wednesday we're playing imps. So I pre-record those videos, how I play live, because what I do, and I think that's the difference of what it was before, or what you can read in the books. You have like a perfect example of something. But I do it like live and playing and going through the procedure of thinking, what the professionals do right now. So like every board I play 2 to 4 minutes, let's say. And during that, I have to figure it out everything, so it's live. And that's what I think is interesting, that what you can figure out in 2 minutes.
Do you play best hand? Like in BBO, they offer like best hand, where you always have the best hand at the table.
No. Now they changed. So I think this is like 3 out of 10 boards. Usually you are defending, but of course if you win, you are always declare. But now it's more and more that you get also like bad hands. You can get a 1-4 point hand. Balance, so not interesting ones, but at the end, this is what you have to learn, because everybody can do well with great hands. If you have like one loser, then everybody just bids a slam. But if you have like some crappy 7-8 playing defending 1-0 trump, that's usually where like the average below players struggle the most. Because a lot of planning, 1-0 trump is the toughest contract at all. And after this tournament, I play 3 challenges, so 15 boards against my spectators.
So you play, the deals are available on Monday night, and then you pre-record
from 7. Yeah, it's from 7 to 7.
So 7 CET.
So 7 p.m. to 7 p.m., 24 hours you can play. I have to play during that time because then the tournament is closed. And I start streaming after that, so people obviously doesn't know the hands. But I pre-record board by board, and then after I finish, I just show the scores, what others were playing, and comment on things which I was not able to figure out during those 3 minutes.
So at the start of this stream, then, do you play the video that shows you playing all the boards where you're talking through, and then you go live after that's finished?
Yeah, well, I'm live from the beginning, but I'm switching between like live. I'm actually having a blue and red t-shirt, so whenever I have blue t-shirt, it's pre-recorded, so I cannot react on the chat. But when I have red t-shirt, then I'm live.
Got it.
I can talk and stuff, so
react.
And then during the first 3 boards, I just get the invitations to the challenges, and after board 3, I pick 3 challengers with a random draw from the spectators who challenge me live.
How did you come up with the blue t-shirt, red t-shirt thing?
Well, it's just thinking like how to make life easier for the viewers. Yeah, because also another thing, and this is something you don't know about once you hear, because FunBridge is switching the numbers. So for you, it might be the board 1, but for someone else, it will be the board 5. So it might be pretty tricky for others to see because they have the different order. So I also put the lists like of the hands, like how many points I have and what type of hands I have. So it's easier for the viewers to know which board is coming.
What feedback have you gotten from the viewers about the blue T-shirt, red T-shirt?
Yeah, I think it's fun and it's easy. Now they know, and even it's helping. Even then, and I have different blue and red for Tuesdays, and different blue and red for Thursdays, because when there are so many like videos, when I have to upload and stuff. So when I see the wrong T-shirt, I know something went wrong. You just don't recognize the board, but it's helping myself as well. So
You're wearing a red polo shirt right now. Is that a Tuesday or Thursday? And today's Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah, today is Wednesday. So today I went to golf. So I just
you played golf?
Playing golf. So yeah.
What's the temperature there? It's probably not that.
Practicing. Well, winter practicing, but now we have around 5 degrees. I played 2 weeks ago. I was on the field, and it was around 0.
You must love golf.
Yeah, well, I just fell in love in July, and my goal is in 1 year to go below 20. So
20, but for your handicap, you mean?
Yeah, for my handicap.
What's your handicap right now?
Right now I have 37, but now I cannot do anything about that. So I think right now I'll be feeling around 30 or below 30, but improving every week. So we have a putting mat at home, and even Amanda is having the small one. So we're running around. It's a great combination with bridge and sitting in front of the computer, and mentally thinking. Now if you just go every second day for 2 hours on a driving range or a golf course, it's just a great way of relax. And competition, it's challenge, so...
How close have you come to breaking 100?
Well, we just have the 12 holes on this course, so to be honest, I'm not doing it this way yet. Not thinking breaking 190 and stuff, but I'm again watching a lot of YouTube videos, a lot, so again, now I have a professional coach. If you want to start playing bridge, get a professional coach. It will be way easier. With golf it's the same, but again, I'm learning a lot by just watching the pros playing.
All right, so I don't know if I should ask you this, but there's another streamer from Australia, Pete Hollins.
Yeah, I know Pete, yeah.
Is it competition between you two?
No, not really. I think, we met in Australia before. We played a couple of challenges against each other. So we were actually the only ones, the first ones who started streaming. And it's, every person, I think, is doing a little bit different things. Every person, every streamer has a different personality and will get different spectators, different viewers. So I think it's better for the people to share, because from the whole world, everybody will pick the one who suits them best. Yeah. I have my own style of playing, my own style of teaching, which might be not the best for everybody. Pete is doing it for a long time. He's a pro, so he has way more spectators. Now I'm not doing the marketing well, because now I'm focusing on other things like golf or daughter. But I don't think that we should be with anyone in bridge in competition, because it's still too few people doing the job.
How come you think he's got so many more viewers than you do?
Well, just compare players in Australia and players in Czech Republic. I have maybe 10 subscribers from the Czech Republic. He might have a couple of thousands from Australia. Compare that.
You make a good point.
Yeah, for example, in the US, it's different market. If you have 100,000 players, to get 10,000, it's not that difficult. As if you are streaming in different language and you get 500 members, then you need to steal the people from abroad.
Oh, did you get this guy you're going to Iceland to play with? Did he find you through your streaming, or did he find you through other means?
Yeah, probably some of that because he did some research, and of course, I think this is the way how you can know someone through the streams that you are familiar, that you know that you will probably like the style of thinking and playing. So then he had a lot of professionals or teachers in UK, but then he approached me just before we didn't met at the bridge tournament. So definitely this is helping me to get a lot of various possibilities to do and to go all over the world.
How did you choose Hungary? I've never been to Hungary for the tournament you played with him previously.
Because he has some relatives there or past relatives. He wants to change his nationality, because now UK is out of European and makes it difficult. So he had some business there. I was going there with my juniors, so it was great timing. That's why we choose that. And I don't know if you heard about the system where they are using, which is called Love Bridge, playing with tablets.
I know of it, but I didn't know they're using it in the tournament. They used it in the USBF trials recently.
Yeah. So they use it on a regular basis, also in the club events. I think that for competitive bridge, this is the future.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, the point is that you have the screen. So like if you are playing the top level, of course you have to play the screen, but you don't have the window in the middle, so you absolutely don't see your partner. So you kill all the option to cheat visually. And you have the tablet instead of cards, and that's the only problem for some people. At the beginning, you think, I don't like playing on tablets, I need cards. But you get used to it really fast. You just have a pen, and you play with a pen, so you have something in your hands, and you just click with your pen. The biggest advantage of this, especially like for top level, is spectating. That's why I love it, because you can watch 4 or 5 tables, but of your choice. Not of somebody's choice. When we were at the European Championships, nobody could watch us because we were not an interesting country to put on BBO tables. But this way, you get everything and you have the data.
Yeah.
They have great statistics. Yeah. I mean, for the pros to analyze, and this is what I get like in golf, to get an app and see which club you shoot how far. In bridge, I think this is something what the pros are doing. I actually don't know, but I'm doing it like myself, in the head. But if you are doing it on paper or somewhere, it's way better. For example, I open week 2. How much IMS or how much percentage do I get in the long run? Is it a good opening for me, or is it bad? Am I giving away or am I earning? Is my no trump game better? Or should I improve like that way? This is where I know from Mackenzie also that you have to work on your good things way better than on your bad things. But what is important is to know where you struggle and where you are good at, and just try to exploit it during the board, during the play. Go better the way where in the long run you are way better. And the only way how to find out is statistics. So that's why I love that tablets, because without people spending time, you get it.
I hear you. I played in one of the online ABCs and in the pair game, and Jeff Hampson was sitting in my same seat, and so I could go back through every board and look and see what he did. Like he had the same decision on every deal, and then I could ask him questions about it. And you have card by card, bid by bid. I mean, I haven't played on Lovebridge. So the USBF trials were held on Lovebridge, and I found it. I didn't understand the interface as a kibitzer, so I didn't really. I tried to log on to it a couple of times, but I didn't get it. But I totally get what you're saying about having the play record and the stats.
Yeah, it's still new, so they're adding features, so it's evolving. But in general, this is what it is. And then you just answered the question in before, how I learned bridge the hard way, watching the others, but watching like single hands. Right now for the kids, they can just sit at home and they can learn from professionals like every day 100 boards, so they will get better much faster. Internet is helping. This is what I think in bridge, because in charge there are more like elderly people, so they don't know how to like use these new options, and yeah, we just have to move. We have to shift. It's like soccer. For ages they didn't have video in the matches. Never before. I mean, yeah, history, but come on, there are plenty of money involved, and struggle, and there is one referee who just cannot see the line if the ball passed and if it is a goal or not. And they just introduced video a few years ago. So with bridge, I think if football just went this way, it's time for bridge to do the same.
One of the things I've heard you say a couple of times is just lack of funding. Like in your youth, you had this woman from the Netherlands who really sounds like took a shine to you, and that's pretty amazing that she.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, even now, in the world and among bridge players, there are so many nice people who just want to help because they had a nice life, they can afford, so they sponsor from time to time somebody because they see, the potential or an effort, or they just want to do something good, and that's why I love the bridge community. That's why I like the streaming, because you just meet these people.
Was it news in Czech when you came back? You won this World Youth Congress?
No, not much.
Really?
I think I just came to the bridge club and I just heard congrats. That was it.
Come on, man.
The federation was not in shape. We basically didn't have the board in that time. So even when we were going, we had to arrange everything by ourselves. So like no big celebrations, just congrats, you won the World Championships, perfect. No one has done anything close to that before. But it's, we even didn't have like a show up on the stage during the tournament. And then we were invited to Japan. They paid everything. I wrote an article, so they paid for an article. So we came there. We were invited for lunch with like the board or with people, because for them it was also like the first world's gold medal, even in juniors. But they really celebrated it. We were standing on their biggest festival in Yokohama. Look, these guys just won for Czech Republic and Japan the gold medals in completely different stories. That gets you thinking, and maybe that's even one of the reasons why I decided that once Michal stopped the professional career, that I will go into politics and organization.
Because you were the president of the Czech Bridge Federation for some years, I think.
Yeah, I quit. I quit last December, so it will be almost a year. But I was doing the job for 10 years, and I can say now that a couple of people can be paid. We have the youth programs, so we got government funding. So the situation is absolutely changing now. So hopefully we have better years in front of us. I'm pretty sure that he will hear about Czech Republic again.
Who's the most venerated or celebrated sportsman or sportswoman in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, we have really good tennis players, like women tennis players. Every year it's a different one. Wimbledon winners, French Open now. So like a lot of tennis players. And then it's ice hockey players.
Wasn't Martina Navratilova from Czech?
Originally she was, but she immigrated, so that's like the same story. But she is Czech. Martina Hingis was originally or partly Czech as well. But in general, now the biggest sportsman I think of history was Jaromír Jágr,
Oh, yeah.
ice hockey player. If you
Yeah.
are watching, JJ 68, so that's like the poem in the world. Now we have Ledecká, who won an Olympic medal in skiing, but one on a snowboard and one on skis.
Wow.
Which have never in the history, nobody have done that. So she's the first one. She's also like an absolute professional, and then well, we have a lot of great sportsmen. I can just keep going.
What's the best that the Czech have done in the Czech Republic has done in the Olympic hockey or World Championships?
Well, we
won the gold medal.
Yeah, well, ice hockey in Czech Republic, that's one of the biggest sports, and several years, around 2000 or something, we were world champions like 3 years in a row, I think. So yeah, I think we belong to one of the best countries in the world. Nowadays it's changing, but still we are there. So US and Canada has some rivals here in the middle from the small country.
Where does Yager live now? I think he's retired. Is he?
He came home, and he's actually running an ice hockey club in his city where he was born, and he's still playing. You know, there just occasionally. So
that's the thing about bridge. You can play your whole life. You know, that's one of the great things.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say before we?
Well, you know, there might be plenty of things, but I'm grateful that I can be here on your cast, and I would love to hear of your listeners or viewers. Just stop by, you know, just come to my channel, and if you manage to meet me at the tournaments, I would love to talk to you. So like to hear your feedback and your stories. So that would be it.
Okay. Milan Macura, his name is not, I wouldn't think to pronounce it the way that we pronounce it, because you explained it to me. But anyway, Macura, and obviously we'll have a link in the show notes. And thanks a lot, man. I've enjoyed it, and you know, we'll keep an eye on those streams.
Yeah, thank you very much, John. Take care.
All right, I will. If you want to check out Milan, he streams live twice a week at 19:30 Central European Time on Tuesday and Thursday. On Tuesday, that's on the Fun Bridge YouTube channel, and on Thursday, that's on his YouTube channel.